Hey guys, I hope you're doing fabulous. Today we're going to be working on conversions. And so before I show you how to divide and how to convert a fraction to a decimal by dividing, I'm going to try to show you the easiest way that I found. Now that I've been teaching sixth grade for a few years, this is probably the easiest method. And you always want to go with the easiest route because it takes you the least amount of work and there's probably less room for error when we try to go the easiest route, okay? So here I put, our conversions are going to be fractions to decimals, but our focus is going to be money. We want to think of money whenever we see fractions because there's certain fractions that are very easy to convert into decimals, and we can pretty much use mental math without even having to divide. So let's begin. Whenever you see a fraction that has a denominator of 4, and I'm going to use my little strategy that we used of no duh in order to remember what the denominator is, right? No duh. 4 is referring to our denominator. Whenever the denominator of a fraction is 4, we're going to think of quarters. Now, the only reason why this is true is because if we were to take a whole, let's just say, for example, a dollar, which represents a whole, and we were to take this whole and we divide it into 4 equal parts, what would the value of each part be? Well, the value of each part would be 25 cents. Do you guys agree? We can take a dollar, we could exchange it for 4 quarters, and if we were to, we take a dollar and we were to divide it into 4 equal parts, the value of each part would be 25 cents, which is the same as a quarter. So I want you guys, whenever you see a fraction and the denominator is 4, I want you to think of quarters. And the top number tells the number of quarters that we have. So if we have 1 quarter, that is equivalent, I'm just going to put 1 quarter here, to how many cents? To 25 cents. You guys agree? Okay? And you see, I didn't have to do any type of division. This is just remembering and thinking of fractions that have a denominator of 4, thinking of quarters, and just thinking of money. Let's look at this example here. What's the denominator? If the denominator is 4, think of quarters. So here the denominator is 4. And so how many quarters do we have? The top number tells how many quarters we have. We have 3 quarters, and that is equivalent to what value? Well, we have 1 quarter is 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents. And the reason why money works so well is because we use money almost on a daily basis. We're constantly seeing money. So you always want to try to tie everything, fractions, decimals, percents, back to money. Okay? So you guys want to try this in here by yourselves? If you like to, go ahead and pause the video. If not, continue to watch. We have the denominator is 4, so you're going to think of quarters. So how many quarters do we have? We have 2 quarters, and that is equal to how many cents? To 50 cents. You guys agree? And I want you just to please be very careful because this is only when the denominator of a fraction is 4. Do you guys see the denominator here is 4? The denominator here is 4 and the denominator here is 4. So whenever you see any fraction has a denominator of 4, you can think of the numerator as if it were quarters. Okay? Pretty good with that. So let me show you here another fraction. I call these kind of like the freebie fractions. You don't really have to divide or anything. You just have to think of money. If it ends in 10, if the denominator of any fraction were to end in 10, as you guys see, do you guys see these fractions here? The denominator's ending in 10 for all 3 of them. We're going to think of dimes. And again, the reason why that's true is because if we were to take a whole and we were to think of a dollar and we were to divide into 10 equal parts, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every single part would be equivalent to 10 cents. Do you guys agree? If we take a dollar and we divide it into 10 equal parts, we would get 10 cents. We could exchange a dollar into 10 cents. And so whenever the denominator of any fraction is 10, we're going to see the numerator as if they were dimes. Okay? So if we have 3 tenths, that's the same as how many dimes? 3 dimes. And what is the value of 3 dimes in money? It's 30 cents, right? If we have 2 tenths, we're going to see the top number as if it were dimes. How many dimes is that? It would be 2 dimes. and 2 dimes are equivalent to 20 cents. Now, if we were to see 3/10 and think of money, again, the denominator is 10, so we're going to think of dimes. It means this would be the same as 3 dimes. We'll see the top number is dimes, and 3 dimes is equal to how many cents? 30 cents, okay? So I want us to be careful again because it just depends on what the denominator is. Right now we said if the denominator was 4, we're going to think of quarters. If the denominator is 10, we're going to think of dimes. And if you forget that, just remember, if you were to take $1, you divide it to 10 equal parts. What would the value of each part be? It would be 10 cents. If you take $1, divide it into 4 equal parts, what would the value of each part be? It would be a quarter, okay? And these are very important. I'm going to show you why, because we could use these as an easy way of converting a fraction, going from a fraction to a decimal, okay? And last but not least, whenever the denominator of a fraction is 100, we're going to think of pennies, right? So here we see the denominator is 100, here the denominator is 100, and here the denominator is 100. So 30 over 100, that would be the same as 30 pennies. And 30 pennies are equivalent to how much money in cents? It's 30 cents. Do you guys agree? What about 25 over 100? And again, if you're catching on, you could go ahead and pause the video anytime and you could work out these problems by yourself, and then you could play it again just to make sure that, to see if you got the correct answer. So 25 over 100, denominator is 100, we're going to think of pennies. 25 pennies have a value of 25 cents. And then we're going to see 2 over 100, and I chose this fraction on purpose because we got to be a little bit careful here. 2 over 100, that's the same as 2 pennies, and 2 pennies, that's the same as 2 cents. Now, be very careful because I'm going to show you what's correct and what's not. 2 cents would be represented this way, 0.02. The 2 needs to be in the hundreds place. If I were to do this right here, 0.2, and I forget this leading 0 here in the front, this is wrong. This, you're changing the value to 20 cents. So we got to remember that whenever we're talking about numbers that are less than 10 cents, we got to put that 0 right in front. If it's 5 cents, it would have the 0. If it's 7 cents, it would have the 0. If it's 8 cents, it has the 0. If it's 9 cents, it has the 0. And again, this is only true because if we were to take $1, and I'm not going to drop a picture of this, it'll take me forever, but if I were to divide $1 into 100 equal parts, every single part would be equal to 1 cent. I mean, you guys, if you guys on your own time, you guys could draw 100 of them and you could put a cent and playing around. But yeah, so I hope this is making sense to you. And so far we've covered 3 fractions that we could tie to money. If the denominator is 4, we're going to think of quarters. So the denominator is 10, we're going to think of dimes. If the denominator is 100, we're going to think of pennies. So now, just to finish off, let's do these examples here. So if we have 3/10, the denominator is 10, we're going to think of what? Of dimes. And you could go ahead and pause this at any time. You could work these out by yourself and then check if you got them right. So same as 3 dimes, and 3 dimes is equivalent to how much money? 30 cents. Okay, so here in this next one, we have 4 over 4. The denominator is 4, we think of quarters. And 4 quarters are equivalent to how much money? Well, we can exchange 4 quarters for $1, right? Is this equal to $1? That's great. And then we have 10, our denominator is 10, we think of dimes. 12 dimes, well, we could take 10 dimes and we can exchange those for $1. So 12 over 10 would be equal to $1.20. And again, remember, if you have 12 dimes, we can group 10 of those dimes together and we can exchange them for $1 and we'll be left with 20 cents. Excuse me. 11 over 10. If we have 11 dimes, that is equal to how much money? Well, if we had 11 dimes, we could take 10 of those dimes, exchange them for $1, and we'll be left with 1 dime. So that would be equal to $1.10. And last but not least, this one here, the denominator is 100. So we're going to think of pennies. How many pennies do we have? 70 pennies. And that is equal to what amount? That's equal to 70 cents. So I hope this helps. I'm going to go back and just draw a picture of these so you guys won't get confused. We said here we had 11 dimes, right? So I'm just going to draw 11 circles, each represent 10 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are all 10 cents. Now if we were to count by 10 cents, because every single dime represents 10 cents, that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, a dollar. Do you guys see that? We could group these and form a dollar and we'd be left with 10 cents. That's where I'm getting $1.10 from. And if you do the same over here, if you draw 12 dimes and you were to group them together, you could take 10 of those dimes and exchange them for a dollar and you'd be left with $1.20. So I really hope this video helped, and I really hope you understood it, because I'm going to show you a shortcut and a way that we could convert fractions to decimals in a very easy form without having to divide. If this video helped you, please, I'm asking for a huge favor. Go ahead and give me a like. Share the video with someone. Tell your friends about it. I'm here to do this. I want to help out as many students as I can so they won't be struggling math. And thank you so much for watching my video. See you next time.